Okay, so we were discussing about stresses in three dimension. Now let's say we have a stress which is represented by sigma, and because we are discussing in three dimension, it means we should have 9 component and the matrix should be 3 by 3, and this we had discussed in the previous classes. So first component is nothing but sigma x-axis, this will be sigma y-y, sigma z-z. This will be sigma, or you can say shear xy, it will be shear xz. And we had already discussed that this z is nothing but the direction of the force on plane x, and we have set a nomenclature like that, and we have assigned the sign convention also. Positive we are considering compressive, negative we are considering tension. Now as far as normal stresses are concerned, these are all called normal stresses: sigma x, sigma y, and shear x, sigma y and sigma z. Whereas shear xy, yz, shear yx, and so on and so forth are the shear stresses. So here this is the symmetrical matrix, 1 1, here 3 is matching with this, minus 2 minus 2, so it is a symmetrical matrix. Now we wish to find out, now let us understand the coordinate system. Now this is x coordinate system, this is x coordinate system, this is y coordinate system, and it is z coordinate system. And we wish to find out the stress along this direction, and let us say this direction is known as, it is called as n direction or x dash direction, whatever it is. Normally you may find in the book it is mentioned as normal direction, but our objective is to find out the stress in x dash direction in a different coordinate system. So in that case you just replace n with x dash. So far in a subsequent session we will consider this is normal direction, and if we are talking about transformation then we will replace it with x dash. Okay, so now this is the normal to which plane? Now the plane is A, B and C. So now this ABC is a plane and its normal direction is n. And as we discussed in the previous class, that this normal direction must be represented in this particular format, where x coefficient is 1 by 3 and this is the unit vector, this is the unit vector. So now coefficient of x means where it is intersecting is 1 by 3, along the y it will be intersecting 2 by 3 and minus 2 by 3 in z. So actually based on this picture always it will be a positive, 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 but it's a hypothetical case. Let us presume that we have a normal direction and it is expressed by like that, 1 by 3x plus 2 by 3y minus 2 by 3z. Here you should be very, very cautious that you are not supposed to subtract the things or add the things. This is all different. This will represent the coefficient of x, this is represent coefficient of y, and this is representing coefficient of z. And what will be the direction cosines now? The direction cosines will now be the coefficient of x, y and z. So direction cosines will be 1 by 3, 2 by 3 with respect to y, minus 2 by 3 with respect to x. Now what does it means? It means that this normal vector, as we discussed in the previous class, that if we have, let us take two dimension case, if this is the normal vector on this particular plane, which is making, now this is a plane AB, its normal direction is along this. Now normal vector indicate, now this is indicating the normal vector. Now its x component is referred by this 1 by 3. Similarly its y component is referred by 2 by 3, and z, if it is in three dimension case, then z component will be referred by minus 2 by 3. So direction cosines means the angle of the normal vector with respect to x. This is the x. So direction cosine means cos theta. So if this is 1 unit, then what will be the length segment? Length segment is nothing but 1 cos theta, or you can say cos theta. So these are nothing but the direction cosines. Cos theta, where cos theta means x to x dash, what is the angle? Yeah, x to n, here we are representing n for normal, y to n, z to n. So these are all cos component, x to n, y to n, and cos z to n, and these component are nothing but these. And why it is the coefficient? Because cos theta value is that segment, sin theta means if you are taking from y to n, means 270 degree plus this angle is nothing but sin theta. So this will be the sin component. So ultimately you have a coordinate of x and y, and this is actually representing these values. So if you have a normal vector, you just take this 1 by 3 as a cos component, that is a cosine of normal with x direction. This is cosine of normal with y, and this is normal with z. Okay, so how do we calculate the traction force? First we have to find out what will be the traction, force acting on this ABC plane in x direction. So I have written this Tx. What will be the force in y direction, what will be the force in z direction? And as I told you that this plane ABC plane, area of ABC is 1 unit. So whatever will be the force acting on this plane divided by area is nothing but the stress. So because we are calculating the force, so that is why we are calling about Tx, Ty, Tz. So this Tx, Ty and Tz can be calculated by this expression, sigma transpose, that is a stress transpose multiplied by direction cosines. And why it is happening, this we had already discussed in the previous class. So now this is the stress matrix 2 1 3 1 2 minus 2 3 minus 2 1, and it has to be multiplied by the direction cosine. This q is the direction cosine with respect to n direction. So when you multiplied it, then it will emerge three values, minus 2 by 3, 3 and minus 1, where minus 2 by 3 is the first, it is the second one, and it's a third one. So first is nothing but the Tx, second is Ty, Tz. So traction force in x direction, y direction, z direction can be computed like that. So we have the values of traction force in terms of minus 2 by 3, 3 and minus 1. Now our objective is to find out the normal stresses. So what will be the normal stresses? It can be computed like traction force transpose multiplied by direction cosine. So traction force order, matrix order will be 3 by 1. So transpose will be 1 by 3. And Q is the direction cosine. So it has a order 3 by 1. So when you compute, then you will have 1 by 1 matrix. And this is nothing but the stress in normal direction. So you just multiply it by T transpose with Q, then you will get the value of stress in normal direction. Why it is happening? This we had already discussed during while we are understanding the case in 2 dimension. Because now I can again repeat. Now this is the traction force in x direction. This is the cos component theta with respect to x, normal to x. So cos theta is the cos component. So what we are doing? We are multiplying this tx with cos component with respect to x, means theta x. So this force is along this direction. Then we will find out the angle. Of course, angle should be in a counterclockwise direction with reference to the original coordinate system. Now y from second cosine is angle with y direction to normal direction. So, and this will be the angle. So this is the second, you can say, direction cosines with respect to y. Then in the third, what you have to do, you just find out what is the angle with respect to z direction. Now this is the z direction to the normal direction. This will be theta z. So cos theta x, cos theta y, cos theta z is the direction cosines. So if you multiply it by tx with direction cosines, then it will give you the force in this direction, normal direction. Ty multiplied by this cos theta, then it will give the force along this direction. Similarly, if traction force is acting in z direction multiplied by cos theta z, then it will give the force along this direction. So you will have the force with respect to tx, ty and tz added up, then it will give you the total force along this direction. And stress is nothing but this force, combined force divided by the area, where we have considered this is a unit area. So this combined together force is nothing but the traction force also. Okay, so what we actually did, we did this thing. This tx must be multiplied by cos theta x, ty multiplied by cos theta y, tz multiplied by cos theta z. So all the forces has been resolved along the normal direction, and it will emerge like 22 by 9, or you can say 2.4. If the forces are given in Newton, so you have to write Newton, and because our area is 1 unit, so you can say it is 2.4 Newton per meter. So you have to be very, very cautious while putting the values with respect and along with the units. So now our objective is to find out what will be the shear also. we have evaluated the normal stress, and we have to evaluate what will be the shear acting on this plane. And of course, now this is the plane. Let me again redraw this. Yeah. Now this is ABC is the plane. If ABC is the plane, now I can say that shear force may be acting in this direction, it may be in this direction. So in a plane, you have all the possibility to shear of the surface. It may be along this direction. This direction is along the plane only. This is along the plane. You can slide it along this plane. So you have all the possibility. So here our objective is to just find out what will be the shear stress acting on this plane, maximum shear stress acting on this plane. So what we will do, actually we have calculated all the values in terms of forces, and then we divide by the area, and this is nothing but the stresses. So anyway, what we had calculated the normal stresses, or you can say traction force. Both are same because area where it is acting is 1 unit. So if you are saying this is the traction force, then you have to say it is T Newton acting on plane ABC, which is having an area of 1 unit square, 1 meter square. So as far as unit is concerned, this traction force, it is Newton per meter square. Okay, so now this is the force normal to this. Now we have evaluated Tx, means force along x direction, y direction and z direction. Now can we find, because these are all forces acting in a respective direction, x, y, z coordinate system. So we can of course find out the net force, and net force is nothing but T net is nothing but Tx square plus Ty square plus Tz square, and take an under root of that. So this is the net force. So always net force is not orienting on the plane. So we have calculated, we can calculate the traction force, net traction force acting on this plane. Now there are two things. Let us again understand with respect to two-dimension case. Let us say this is x and y coordinate system, and our plane is now this is the normal, and let us say we have calculated Tx, let us say we have calculated Ty also. Now what will be the net force? Net force will be Tx square plus Ty square and under root of that. And what will be its direction? Its direction is different from the normal stress, or you can say T normal, rather put Tn. So this is the net force, and this is the stress normal to the plane, or traction force normal to the plane, this one. And of course there will be a shear stress also, or shear force acting also. Let us say this is represented by Tx. So if you take Tn square plus Tx square, then you will get the net value, because both the direction normal and shear plane are 90 degree apart. So if you calculate Tn square plus Tx square is nothing but the net force. So here you are considering two different coordinate system, and you have evaluated the stresses in two different systems. One is in Tx, Ty coordinate system, means x and y coordinate system. Another is Tn and Ts coordinate system. So now Tn and Tx coordinate system net force will remain the same. So you will get the same value. But here this value Tn which we have calculated is the known one. Normal जो अभी हमने किया था, we have calculated nothing but the stress square, normal stress square. T net we have calculated like that, Tx square plus Ty square plus Tz square in 3 dimension, take the under root. Here shear stress, now this shear stress is unknown. So this is known, so you just subtract Tn minus this, then you will calculate what will be the shear stress. What will be the shear stress or shear force on the plane, and that to be the maximum one. Let us say I am taking a simple 2-dimension case. Let's say this is x direction, this is y direction. Now I can shear off along this direction, I can shear off along this direction, I can shear off along this direction, any direction I can shear off. So एक plane में, within a plane you have all the possibility to slide off the material. So what is maximum, that we are evaluating by this expression. So okay, so now Tx square plus Ty square plus Tz square, Tx, Ty, Tz, Tx is nothing but minus 2 by 3, take a whole square, plus 3 square, that is 9, 1 square, that is 1. If you calculate this, then you will understand that this is nothing but 3.23. Now T shear, which is our question. So normal stress we have calculated, and this was, yes, this was 2.4. So net is 3.23. so 3.23 square minus 2.4 square, take a under root of that, it will become 2.16. and if it is all in Newton, all the forces are represented by Newton, then it will be Newton per meter square, because our area is 1 unit 1 per 1 meter square. So this is the traction force, and the value is 2.16 per meter square. So this is the way by which we can compute the normal as well as shear stress. Then we discussed now this normal and shear is along the ABC plane only. Now if we change the coordinate system, now that problem which we had discussed is for a plane only. Now in a 3-dimension, if you are choosing x dash, y dash and z dash coordinate system, likewise then if you make a block, cubical block, which is representing x dash, let's say this will be x dash, y dash and z dash. Now there are number of plane. One plane is, this one is the plane which you are observing. Another plane may be this one. If I am talking about this plane, now normal direction is along the z dash, so we will say this is z dash plane, this is x plane, this is y plane. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, so altogether there will be 6 plane. So actually we wish to find out stress in x dash direction. As far as matrix is concerned, we wish to calculate stresses so far we have calculated this thing. If you have a plane and its normal direction is along n, that is x dash direction, so we have calculated this thing only, and we have calculated the shear stress acting on that plane. Means the plane will be, यदि हम इसकी बात करें, if we are talking about x dash is the normal direction, then plane will be y dash z dash. So normal, now if we are talking about what will be the stress along this direction, then this plane is yz plane, y dash z dash plane. So now yz dash z dash, and we are calculating the stress. Now stress yz y dash z dash plane. Now this is the plane. Now where, means what will be the direction of the force, whether it will be along this direction, the force is along this direction. So there are two components actually in coordinate system. Either we will have x dash so we have two components on this particular plane. Either you can put the force along the y dash direction, along this direction, or you can have a force on this direction. On which plane? The plane is x dash plane. So x dash plane, there are two possibilities to apply the force, either in y and z. So you will have two components of shear. But what we have calculated? We have calculated the shear in z dash plane maximum value by this with this procedure. So now our objective is to just find out what will be the stress in the coordinate system. So this we have calculated like that. Now this is the complete 3 by 3 direction cosines. अभी तक हमने जो लिया था, we have considered the direction cosine with respect to the normal direction only. This angle is with the normal direction only. Now here we will have one row which represent the direction cosine with respect to n direction or x dash direction. Then we will have another row or column with respect to y dash direction, and third will be along the z direction. So now in this case, this is a complete 3 by 3 system. Then it has to be multiplied by this, like that. If you multiply it by these 3 by 3, 3 by 3, 3 by 3 matrix, of course you should know what will be the direction cosines. Once you know, then you can compute what will be the stresses in the different coordinate system, not only for the normal but also for the shear stress with respect to the directions, not the maximum one. So if I'm If I'm say that there is a plane which normal direction is given, unit vector is given. If unit vector is not given, then you have to make it unit. And how you can make it unit? Say if it is ax plus by plus cz, then a square plus b square plus c square must be equal to 1 square or 1. So what you will do, you will subtract like that, so that a divided by a square plus b square plus c square under root. Say you can say it should be like that, but if it is not, then say if it is p square, not p square, so divided by p. So you have to make it unit, and that if it is not unit vector, then direction cosine value, that will not be the direction cosine value. Coefficients are not the direction cosine value. So now this is the thing which I wanted to share with you, that how we can transpose the matrix stress from one coordinate system to the another coordinate system.